Welcome back. Today we're gonna do a nice little summertime painting, and as you can notice, I did something different to the canvas. So before I get into it, let me run the colors across the screen. You'll need to paint along with me, starting with my titanium white all the way to my cadmium yellow. So as you may notice, I I started playing with this canvas, and I got some black gesso and a brush and just started doing figures. The look of some bushes, maybe some land, bushes, mountains. I just did a whole lot of things, just messed around with this canvas. And then I add, I allowed the gesso to dry, which is black gesso that dries pretty quick. And all I did was um, add a thin layer of the liquid clear. Sorry about that. A thin layer of the liquid clear with no paint. So that's basically it. Let's get started with today's painting. I'm gonna go right into titanium white just to lighten up a little bit phthalo blue. Since there's no liquid white, it won't become lighter. It'll stay the same. So that's why we gotta lighten it up on the palette. Now let's come up here. Let's start in the center. Something different. And just work your brush across with figures of eights. Just going back and forth. A little bit more phthalo blue just to darken it up a bit. And tap it in the bristles, both sides. I want to darken up these corners. Okay, now let's go into a little bit more. I'm going back and forth with this. And maybe there's just a little like dark clouds. Okay, wipe off your brush a bit. Go back and forth, diluting that face. Okay, simple, isn't it? Just like that, you have a sky. Now with the wipe, I'm just gonna get some of that paint off from our mountains. I don't want it to be blue when we highlight it, so that's why I'm just wiping it off. Pull out your titanium white as flat as you can get it. Really mash that paint down flat and cut yourself a roll of paint. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let me repeat it. Just get your knife, pull it across. You'll get a little roll of paint on the edge of your knife right there. And now let's decide where our highlights live. And it should be relatively more easier since we got the um, gesso rather than putting layers. Nope. Last time it worked so well, but last time I forgot to mention that I had wiped off the liquid clear from there. So if you give me a sec, I could go grab myself a wipey just to show you guys the difference between liquid white and no liquid white. Uh, I'm just grabbing a normal wipey that I already used, so I'm reusing. Dip it in a little water to reactivate. Okay, and just wipe off as much as liquid white as you can. Okay, now that's gonna dry up pretty quick since there's some wind and some um it's pretty sunny right now, so it should dry up pretty quick. But I thought we could add a little bit of crimson just to lighten it up, just to change it up. Hope you could see that. Has a little like marble to it. Same thing, just with a little bit of crimson. Cutting yourself that roll. Come up here. Doesn't feel like it has oil in anything. Notice the difference, how the paint is breaking. So if you guys want it to work better, what I suggest is use gesso and don't put liquid clear on there, because the liquid clear, all it does, it's just making it slippery and harder. Just leave it as it is, and you could have more success. You could even smash the paint in more, and it probably wouldn't even make that much of a difference. And I'm just repeating the same things over and over. Okay, it's a little trick I learned. No, I wasn't gonna do a painting since I had no ideas, and I stumbled upon um, some of my drawings, my old drawings, and I was like, that would be a perfect idea. But of course, we gotta change it up a bit. Can't just copy a drawing, even if it's yours. It's not the same. So I decided we could change it up just a little bit. Okay, mixing up crimson and phthalo blue, making like this lavender color. You know what? Mix that up with some white. Ooh, that's better. You see the difference? Hopefully you could see some of that difference. It's still like a light purple. So it could look like it's snow, but then it could look like it's like shadows. Hopefully it works what I'm thinking about. Cut a roll, and same thing, just opposite direction. Okay, we'll see at the end of the painting if it was a good idea, if it wasn't. You know, it's just like in life. You gotta test out what works and what doesn't work. You won't know unless you try it. Now, I wanna add like an extra highlight to my highlights. So I'm going to pull out just pure white, no bright red. I know alizarin crimson. Just uh determine where that light is. Okay? Just like so. Just lightly. You don't need much pressure. Now, I wanna add a little bit of blue to this just to make it a different marbled effect. So just over our purple pinkish, You could overlap it. There's no rule saying you can't do this. As long as it makes you happy. Okay. Now, I think I'm kind of satisfied with that. If you're not satisfied with your paintings, when the painting's dry, I recommend you go over some areas that you're not completely satisfied with. And following the angles of these highlights and shadows, just tapping it. Okay. Well, let's go ahead. Let's go into a little bit of phthalo blue. Just tapping it. And there's some liquid white over here. So, just like normal. Just pulling it from the corners inwards. Maybe, what the heck, maybe just a little bit on the top there. And if you want to, you can go into a little bit of white. You can pick out where you want a little bit more highlights. I think I'm satisfied like that. Now, let's go ahead, let's play around with this painting a bit. Let's go ahead. Let's get that blue color. Blue and white. Little crimson. Now that's lavender. Some cal yellow. Just mix it up until you're completely satisfied with this color. Just because I'm satisfied with the color doesn't mean you have to be satisfied with the color. You might like a different shade of that color. You might want it darker, you might want it lighter. It's up to you. Talking about that, I think I'm satisfied with this, where it's at right here. So, I'm going to tap my 1-inch oval brush and push that paint right into the bristles. Let's come up here. Let's just tapping that like a foothill. And since it has an oval shape, it does most of the job for you. You don't have to worry about whether or not that's a nice oval or whatever. Okay? And just miss the bottom just by tapping. Okay. You can lift up a few little duders to make it seem like there's trees at the distance. Now, with that same color, well, I basically almost ran out of this color. I could make quartz out of it. Let's pick up a little bit of blue. What the heck? Let's make some on my brush. And when you mix it on your brush, you make a multitude of colors rather than uh, when you mix it on your palette knife, you have a solid color. You have different colors in that bristle, as you can see. So that's the benefit of that. Load it, pop in some bushes. Just by tapping it. Tap some more. Okay, just like so. And you could just pick up a little bit of cad yellow, a little bit of that color. Load up your brush full of paint. And if you notice, when you pull your brush through one side, it'll curve that end of the brush and just tap it. I'm just trying to make it look like some bushes at the distance. Something light, something delicate. And maybe there's some grass laying there. You know, just right there. I'm gonna get a darker shade. Maybe it's a little bit of land. Just around there. And I hope when you come and watch my videos that you're completely uh, satisfied, and I hope I could help you relax the half an hour you spend with me. Let me wash my brush. I know everyone has a busy life. It might get a little stressful at times. And I just want to help you guys out with that. And just be here. Some dark, little bit of blue, a little bit of crimson. I'm gonna mix up a dark color, blue, crimson, and pull it through here. I'm using a 2-inch brush now. I changed my mind uh, with using that 1-inch. It just saves you time using a 2-inch brush rather than a 1-inch. That's the only main difference, and that's why I like so much the 2-inch brush, because you could do more in less time with this brush. Just tapping it. Maybe there's a few reflections. Just touch it and just pull it down. Most of it might be covered soon. And just go across. You see how easy that is? How simple? I got something on my palette knife. Get that green and put some red into there. I want to make a brown color. Okay, cut a row. Let's put a little bit of dirt under here. Some hair got in my face, so I just gotta take that out. Okay, we don't put dirt. This is gonna all fall down. Gotta just imagine it. Puts you in that zone. Just touch and just go away. That's basically the best way you could think about it. Okay, some white to our brown. Cut a roll. Let's highlight this. That's too dark. Cut a roll. Hopefully that's better. Oh yeah, that's better since there's a multitude. And if you want to spice things up a bit, you could get a touch of red, touch of crimson, just to change up the mood, the flavor. Yes, I said the flavor. People expect us painters to be a little weird. That's okay, we can get away with it. We can get away with it. Okay, move that paint to another side because most likely we're gonna use it again. Pull out a roll of titanium white. And I just tap some water lines. Make sure those lines are fairly straight. If not, you're not gonna be comfortable with your painting. And let me fix that straight line. I don't like that straight line right there. Load up your brush, your 2-inch or your 1-inch, doesn't really matter. Load it up with enough paint in your bristles. Just think about where you want to break it up a bit. Maybe I want to break it up from there, somewhere there. Nature doesn't grow on straight lines. That's the best advice I got in with landscape painting. Don't do nature in straight lines because nature doesn't grow in straight lines. And it's true. I mean, sometimes it grows a little bit off. It does grow in straight lines. But we're talking about most of the time. Okay. So maybe we can reflect that. I don't care. Just touch, go across, go through cadmium yellow, load it just right, and just touch. Shouldn't be more than a touch. Or you know what? Get a little bit phthalo blue just to make it a vibrant green, just to change things up a bit. Because if you keep everything the same, it's not going to be any difference. And there, it's going to blend in. And you don't want that to happen. Okay. Now let's get a 2-inch. Touch it. Raise it. Now, if you really, really want to, and it's not sitting right with me, I have some mountain mixture here. I'll pour out on my palette. First time I pour out paint during a video. I'm gonna remove this. I still have the basic outline, but I'm gonna show you that you could change your mind at any moment. So mountain mixture, which is a dark paint, and just block in that bush you really desired. Oh, there goes my brush. Okay, load it up properly. You see, and because of that change, My bad. Because of that change, now you can notice that the highlights more. Okay, let's get some of our brown, cut a roll. Just lay it down there. Maybe a little mountain mixture to that black, just to, I mean, to that black. Mountain mixture to that brown, just to darken it up. And you could do it either way, doesn't matter. Okay, some white and some water lines. Just like that. Something simple. And you could just graze it, going back and forth. Now, we had some land on that side. We can take care of that right now. Some mountain mixture with this color I had on my brush. It was like a greenish. And let's plop that in. This is my world. I get to pick what's on here and what's not. Load your brush, pull it out, then push it in. That's how I think about it. Repeat until you're 100% done with this. Okay, let's reflect a little bit. Go across. Okay, just like that. Let's put some dirt. And maybe just a little bit. I don't want too much. Okay, let me fix that straight edge again. I'm telling you, you could change whatever you want in your paintings. Now, you have this spot, which is pretty easy to take care of. I'm gonna go with my 2 inch, and let's pop in a bush. Maybe it just lives right around there. You can scrub that on. Okay, got that. Now, with the 2 inch, I'm gonna highlight it. These bristles aren't really working for me. When it's not working for you, if you're using a brush that maybe the bristles aren't right, or maybe it just doesn't want to work, let it go. Don't continue. That's the best advice I can give you. I used to struggle with some bristles with my brushes, and I would insist. I would almost fight with my brush. And then I realized, wait, I could just use a different brush that won't give me too much problem. So you could do that much, much easier. Okay, well, you know what? Before I end this, I'm gonna pull out some white, and that straight line, I'm gonna break it up. I'm gonna just pull some, make it look like some went off, just change it up a bit. Maybe like that, something different. And I think we could call this painting finished. I don't see what more I can put. But rather than that, I'd like to thank you for joining me today in this wonderful journey of painting this landscape. And until next time, God bless, my friend. Goodbye.